Hello, it's a new frame, by the way. Like, is this wall is not looking well? Like, it's not a wall. It's a door, by the way, and it's good. Like, basically, it has that spill over there. Like, throughout the time, it just kind of like gone and things like that. But it doesn't look right. Yeah, like basically, is this thing na ki previously my frame was kind of like a look little bit of like a focus on me. Like if I just put myself here, then you might see like there is a like a rooftop. If I'm just put here, there is a kind of like a sun is actually blasting behind me. I would say this is really good frame. Okay, yeah, because kind of like I'm seeing a little bit better and things and that. So yeah, this might be really good frame. All right, so should we start? All right, so this is the My Artifact episode number 3913. Today's date is uh, February 28, 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 9:12 p.m. a.m. Sorry, 9:12 a.m. It's a morning at 9:12 a.m. All right, should we jump into the question? All right, let's go. All right. So I actually wrote the question in here. Okay. Why? Because the question is actually here, and obviously, how could I supposed to do this thing, that and that, while recording? So that's why I wrote the question here. Okay. Yeah. So the question is, do I take financial risk without carefully thinking about possible negative outcome? Oh, like basically, this question says that, ki, are you kind of like a taking the risk? Like, are you that person who kind of like a willing to take a risk and things like that? That's a really good question. All right, first of all, what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? This is basically this thing. Couple of days ago, I was kind of like reading a book, not Atomic Habit, Psychology of Money, Atomic Habit. I'm reading the book right now, but before this, I was kind of like reading Psychology of Money, and basically it's this thing that I realized that it doesn't really make sense if I'm not kind of like simply implementing the book kind of like taught me. What's the implementation? Like, I don't know. Like basically every book is kind of like telling you something, that what should you supposed to do, what should you not supposed to do, and things and that. And if I'm not follow that thing, then what exactly makes sense of reading the book? Like basically, let's just say in the Atomic Habit, there are so many things kind of like some stuff that mention over here. Okay, yeah, if you follow that thing, you will kind of like become better person. If you don't, then what kind of like somebody like what, it doesn't really make sense of reading this book, because this is not just a book, this is just a piece of paper, nothing really at all. If you're not implementing the value in this book in your life, then this is just piece of shit, that's it. Okay, I don't want to be this book or any other book that I will gonna read. It's just a kind of like a piece of paper. No, I want to implement the value in my life too. So basically, it's this thing. I read that Psychology of Money, this book, and I want to add a value in my life. I wanted to implement the value that taught me. So I wanted to ask question to myself regarding about, do I understand the book? What will I supposed to do? Things and that. So I went to ChatGPT and kind of like I say this thing, suggest me at least like a 20 question regarding about Psychology of Money, so that when I ask this question to myself honestly, I will implement the value that book taught me and things and that. So yeah, so this is one of those questions. Now the question is that, do I take financial risk? Like in short, okay, like the question is like a very long. Like a question is that, do I take financial risk without carefully thinking about possible negative outcome and things like that? Okay, the important thing is that, are you taking the risk? Are you that kind of like a particular person who kind of like take a risk? Now I will gonna count every risk, like not just financial risk, but every risk and things and that. Okay, so let's talk about what is exactly risk. A risk means like that, a kind of like a things that you are putting something on the line, your life, your time, your money, your people, for something good happen. but that something could, you are not really sure that something could will gonna happen or not, but you have believed that ki if you put this thing on a line means like that ki if you sell these things, like a like people, time, money, whatever it is, property, whatever it is, you get something very much bigger. Okay, yeah. So it's very hard to kind of like simply explain. Okay, let me give you example. Let's just say that ki um, I will gonna say that ki give me $1 million, within a year I will give you $5 million. Okay, yeah. So you have to give me $1 million and I will give you $5 million in 1 year. Okay, yeah. Now this deal is a really good, like it kind of like a feel really good that ki, okay, like I can get kind of like a 5 times return. Okay, so which is kind of like a really good. So I have to be kind of like invest and things and that and that. Okay, now you don't really have $1 million. So what should you supposed to do? What should you supposed to do? You might sell your property, you might kind of like a sell your house or whatever it is to kind of like arrange that $1 million and you gave it to me. Okay, yeah. So basically this process, like I'm talking about the belief, like you don't really give the money to me, you just try to think, and that thing called risk. Risk means what? Like a risk means that na ki you are kind of like a giving me money because you believe in me that ki I will gonna make money 5 times higher. Okay, yeah. So that is called risk. Risk is actually involved when you when you kind of like a somebody putting something, like you are kind of like a somebody is saying that ki you are putting something on the line, like basically is this thing, if you are kind of like selling your house for $1 million, you might gonna live on a street, right? Like you might lose today something for better thing will gonna happen tomorrow. Okay, yeah. So that is called kind of like a somebody risk, that you are kind of like a thing that ki okay, like let's just say I'm kind of like holding myself, or kind of like somebody I'm just kind of like somebody stop myself, and probably is this thing that ki within a kind of like a somebody 5 year or year I might gonna get returns and things and that and that. Okay, yeah. Lots of people actually think like that way. Now, are you like a? Is it are you like a, should you supposed to give me $1 million or what? Well, it depends on person. It depends on so many levels. Okay, I will not kind of like a. I will not gonna give you proper kind of like a somebody guideline regarding about that. Why? Because some risks are good, some risks are not, and that is one of the important thing that you have to understand. Okay, yeah. Risk comes with the consequences. Okay, yeah. What is the consequences? Loss of money. Example, you give me $1 million and I will run away, or maybe I will never gonna see, or things like that. You might lose $1 million. What effort that you will gonna do, you will not gonna get $1 million. Okay, yeah, because you gave it to me, literally you in hand you gave it to me. So this is what it is, like this is what kind of like a problem will gonna happen. Okay, so what I realized that ki risk is kind of like a comes with the consequences, and you have to understand that thing. Now there are so many risks. Financial risk, we all know everything. Okay, yeah. But there are other risks too. Time, people, things and that and that. I will not gonna talk about that thing because it's a very different stuff. Okay, yeah. Now the question I have to be asked to myself that ki, am I willing to take a risk? Am I willing to take a risk? Now regarding about let's just say that ki, if someone kind of like a tell me that ki I will kind of like a convert your $1 million into $5 million, will I able to take a risk for that? Definitely not. I will not gonna do that thing, because it's just like that na ki why? Because I'm not believe in earning money easily. Okay, I realize that ki if you want to earn money, you have to give something back. Okay, you have to give something back na. Okay, yeah. It's not that ki kind of like a somebody is this thing that ki you will get the money, so much amount of money for free. It's not. if you went to shopkeeper or if you went to store and if you wanted to buy Maggie, which is 10 rupees, so you have to give 10 rupees, na? Then you get the Maggie. You actually exchange something to do transaction, na? So how should you supposed to be expect that you will get $5 million without doing nothing? Obviously not, na. It is not. Okay. But dude, you are investing time, na. But dude, like, let me tell you one thing. $5 million in 1 year, it's not possible in every possible sector. Like maybe things happen very crazy, then it might gonna happen, but it's not. It definitely not. Okay, yeah. Like basically within a year, that $1 million that you invested, probably it will convert into the 1.5 to 1.7, max to max $2 million. Okay, if you are kind of like invested in kind of like a somebody like a very profitable business and things and that, still you will get $2 million within a year, which is like a higher return that is completely unbelievable. But still, I would supposed to be expect that ki, okay, within a kind of like a year you might gonna achieve maybe like a $2 million, but more than that you might not gonna achieve that thing. Like a you where you wanted to invest like a gold, profitable business, commodity, bonds, nothing really at all. Like a basically it's this thing na ki if you want $5 million, then probably you have to wait for at least like a 10 12 year, okay, or 15 year. Then that $1 million convert into the $5 million. You have to spend time na. In short amount of time you will not gonna get $5 million. Definitely not. Even if where you invested money and things and that is not harm. It actually happened when you take a risk, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Risk. Okay, yeah. Like basically you are kind of like invested money on such a thing that kind of like you might think that that company will gonna blow. Okay, yeah. Like let's just say a company who kind of like invented something, an idea or invention or product or whatever it is, that kind of like somebody revolutionized the people thought process or their work and things and that. Let's just say AI. Okay, yeah. Let's just say I am the owner of ChatGPT. I am the Sam Altman. Okay, yeah. And you are kind of like investing on me because you think that ki AI is a kind of like a revolutionize and things and that. So in that case, it might gonna work, but that is a risk. That is a risk because you think that this AI would kind of like change the world, but in reality, if not, then what will gonna happen? Okay, so there is a lot of factor are a kind of like a responsible and things and that, but still, is this thing regarding about financial risk? I will not gonna take any kind of financial risk because I believe that ki you earn money is because of you give something back. Okay, you give something back, so that's what it is. There are so many ways you could do this thing. Okay, yeah. Like basically it's not kind of like a literal way. Okay, yeah. Like okay, I don't know how they're supposed to explain. Okay, yeah. Take Elon Musk. Okay, yeah. Why this particular person rich? Because he has a multiple company. He sell electric car. He have a SpaceX. He launch a kind of like a rockets, reusable rocket. He has a multiples of companies which are kind of like doing something really great. So that's why he's one of the richest person in the world. Okay, yeah. But is it? Well, that's a half truth. Okay, yeah. What's a like a half truth? Like a half truth is kind of like this that ki he's earning money, he's rich is because of that ki he's a kind of like a something is this thing that ki he has this company, that company, that company, that company. Okay, yeah, that's why he's a rich. But this is the half truth. Okay, yeah. Half of the truth is a kind of like a bit more different. Why Elon Musk is kind of like a rich is because of that ki he showcase what actually future look like. Okay, yeah. What actually future look like? Like basically, what exactly is this thing? Okay, yeah. Let me give you explanation. He kind of like assembly add electric car, which is a futuristic version. Elon Musk showcase that ki in the future we will not gonna drive a IC engine car or internal combustion car. No, we will gonna drive the electric car. Okay, yeah. So he created electric cars. He show us a future. Okay, yeah. So basically, what exactly is this thing, na? Ki he's not making the car. he's not making the car, he's making the future. Okay, he's making the future. The person who make the future, literally make the future, that particular person have respect from lot of people in today's point of perspective. Okay, I'm not really sure about tomorrow and things like that. Okay, yeah. Why? Because of that, let's just say is this thing, if Elon Musk is kind of like a somebody make a car which is a internal combustion car. Okay, yeah. Does that, if that Elon Musk make that car, do I will gonna know Elon Musk? I might not know. Why? Because of that he just another car company. Okay, there are so many car company who makes the internal combustion engine cars. Okay, yeah. So why do I supposed to remember the Elon Musk? No, I remember Elon Musk is because of he did something different. He looked in the future and tried to take the action for future point of perspective, and he built the electric car today. Like today means like a 2004. Okay, yeah. And he kind of like a showcase the vision that this is the future. This is the future. So because of this thing, someone is kind of like looking at me. I'm kind of like feel really weird. And that's why I'm kind of like not sit here, because it's just like that some people are kind of like try to look at me and things and that. Okay, whatever. So basically it's this thing that Elon Musk is kind of like somebody showcase that car. Okay, like showcase that future. Okay, yeah. And when people realize that, okay, like an electric car is the future and things like that, so that's why I remember Elon Musk. Okay, that's why I remember Elon Musk. And that's why I connect that Elon Musk is a kind of like somebody, a revolutionary person who can make the future. Okay, yeah. Like basically Ford company also make cars. There are so many companies are also make cars and things and that. But Elon Musk creates some sort of space in my heart. And not just me, everyone. Okay, yeah. That he is the person who can change the future. Okay, yeah. So that's why that opinion converted into the respect, and that respect converted into the kind of like a business and things like that. Okay, that's why everyone are willing to invest on Tesla. Everyone are willing to buy Tesla car, because they also wanted to be part of that futuristic world. Even if I can't afford his car, even if I don't have any kind of like a using electric car or things like that, but still is this thing that I wanted to part of that future. I wanted to part of that future and things like that. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you, how to become rich is not because of that how good is your business, is because of that how much value that you provide to the people. If you provided a kind of like a really good value to the people, that people will kind of like give the respect, and that respect kind of like a convert into the kind of like a somebody perspective. Okay, yeah. No one looked as a Elon Musk as a kind of like a traitor, or no one looked as a Elon Musk as a kind of like a things that he's just a ordinary man or things like that. No, everyone thinks that Elon Musk is kind of like a do some really extraordinary and things like that. Now this is just a car. This is just a car. Okay, yeah. If I talk about the SpaceX, which is even more crazier, like basically before that we have to build a rocket and send some sort of thing on space, and that rocket will kind of like a blow down, like that rocket will gonna utilize only once. Okay, yeah. But SpaceX, which is Elon Musk company, decide that what if we could make a rocket that reusable, and they did it. They make the rocket that reusable. It's a futuristic vision. They did it. And that's why I connect his thought process. That's why I represent that Elon Musk is a kind of like a particular person who is actually kind of like a somebody look from futuristic point of perspective. He literally make the future. Like because of SpaceX, multiples of company are actually established to kind of like make reusable rocket. Multiples of car company are started making electric cars. Why? Is because of Elon Musk. Is because of he started early. Okay, yeah. And because of he started early, that's why we just kind of like somebody associate with that thing. Okay, yeah. Who is the richest person in the world? Everyone knows Elon Musk. Who is the second richest of the world? Probably no one will gonna remember. Might be Jeff Bezos, but that's it. Okay, yeah. This is what it is. Like basically, this thing, na, being rich means not have that much amount of money. Being rich means like that how much you provide value to the people. If you provide value to the people, obviously you will become rich. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Value means what? A value means something that a kind of like a change their life. When I see electric car, future. When I see the reusable rocket, future. When I see a kind of like a somebody Starlink network, future. Like every product Elon Musk build represent a future. He literally make the future, and that future is kind of like a provided to us. That's why my perspective looking at the Elon Musk is a rich person. Even if he might not rich person, even if he kind of like a someone kind of like a get even more richer than that, but I might not remember that particular person. Why? Because it's not. Okay, yeah, there are kind of like a top 10 richest person in the world, but probably you might remember fews, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, probably Mark Zuckerberg. But Mark Zuckerberg is not the richest person. He is fourth or fifth richest person probably. Okay, yeah, like this is what it is. Okay, yeah. So that's what it is. That's why like this is the kind of like a some bigger truth. Okay, yeah. That key being richest person is not meant to be kind of like a somebody that how much money that you have. Being richest means like that key what you did something that matter to the people. Okay, and because of that you actually earn money. Because of that, and also earn money means what? Like earning money, like basically is this thing that ki Elon Musk is actually richest person is because of that ki someone kind of like a give the money and things is because of that richest person? No, he actually, like as I mentioned na, he creates the futuristic world na, that's why he's the richest person na. Okay, this is what is it, dude. This is what I kind of like a thing, like basically I think that na ki who is a person who could kind of like a change the future. I would say Elon Musk. And I am not the only one who kind of like a say I'm not the fan of kind of like Elon Musk and things like that. I barely know him kind of like somebody like a like basically I might know him like a before 2020 I might know him nothing really at all. Yeah, but after 2020 I started knowing about Elon Musk and things and that. Okay, so I'm not the fan. I'm not kind of like somebody the crazy kind of like a fan and things like that. But I also like really admire the way that he thought process, the way that he think, the way that he do the world, and way that he changed the world and things like that. So that's why I'm really admire for that particular person, and that's why even if he is not the richest person, I still in my place he's the richest person now, because I like basically is this thing na ki every person hold some sort of position in your heart. Okay, yeah, like basically is this thing a corrupt politician became a richest person you might not accept because he's a corrupt, but Elon Musk is the richest person you accept, and you not only accept, you kind of like a defend that he's the richest person and he's worthy enough to consider as the richest person because he did something very crazy. So that's what it is. Sometimes I just kind of like a talk about something that completely. So what I realized that okay, so regarding about risk, okay, so basically is this thing na, for me I will not gonna kind of like a take a financial risk. I will take the financial risk in some sort of situation when that situation is in my control. Only then I will take a risk. Okay, you don't really understand? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say I will kind of like a make your money 1 million to 5 million within a year. Okay, yeah. So am I willing to, so other person, like let's just say a kind of like a random person kind of like a say this thing that key I will gonna make your money $1 million into $5 million within a year. So in what chance, in what way that I would kind of like give the money, like well, am I able to take a risk? No, but I will gonna take a risk until I know everything that how he's supposed to be give me that. Okay, how he's supposed to be give me that, like basically I just want to know, okay, if I give you money, then how should you supposed to invest money? on which bond, which commodity, which mutual stock, which company, which everything, that and that and that and that, how you supposed to be kind of like a that and that. Like I wanted to understand all the process and things like that. I also evaluate that process from my point of perspective, that is it kind of like a legit or not, and things like that. And if I am kind of like pretty much satisfied that ki, okay, he's a kind of like a not bluffing, he's kind of like a doing it well, and all the kind of like a practical evidence kind of like a point out that direction, that ki yes, that particular person can make $1 million into the $5 million. But still, is this thing that ki will I able to give the money? I still not. Okay, I still not. If I try to, like, basically is this thing now, I rather invest $1 million in myself, in my idea, in my things. Like basically is this thing now, let's just kind of like give me perspective. Okay, yeah. Let's just say this particular person says this thing. I wanted to make a movie. Okay, yeah. This movie is really good, really great, things and that and that and that. You have to give me $1 million for making that money, making that movie. Okay, yeah. And after the movie release, movie will kind of like a blockbuster, things and that. So that $1 million that you invested converted into the $5 million, and you will kind of like earn so much amount of money. Now will I able to kind of like invest my money on his movie? Well, probably I might not. Why? Because still is this thing that it's not my movie. But if it is my movie, then I willing to invest, because is this thing na ki I will control everything. And not because of I wanted to make that $1 million into $5 million. No, I wanted to make movie. That's it. Okay, yeah. So basically, is this thing na ki regarding about financial risk, I don't know. I am like a basically little bit kind of like a somebody just like a conservative, not conservative, but kind of like a things that na ki like I just wanted to control. Yeah, I just wanted to control. Like I will not believe somebody to kind of like give them $1 million and things like that. That's kind of like feel a little bit of weird and things like that, right? But it's not really that I will not gonna take a risk. That's it. Thank you.